Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. The massive humanoid life form still lay within Universe Ocean. On the other hand, great beings from various groups of top powers from Universe Ocean, who had stayed low and kept the peace for almost an entire era, had already arrived. One after another, streams of flowing lights in an array of colors cut across the void space. Then they all flew through the lips of the humanoid life form and right into its body. Amidst the void space of the miniature universe, world of Jinn, numerous palace-type true treasures were suspended. They belonged to various groups of powers that came from the 3 reincarnation eras and the 2 great holy lands of Universe Ocean. In terms of what the first era was about, it could be seen as merely sending troops in to probe and explore. And this time around, it would be the very first large-scale entry. The numerous palace true treasures resembled shimmering stars in the sky, and amidst them, there was a 9-story tower. Remote Ocean Luo Feng looked around as he said, "The world of Jinn is fraught with dangers. Everyone, please follow closely behind me upon entering. I will bring you all directly to the doorstep of the East Army military camp. That is when you all can join the army right away. I trust that you all are clearly aware of the dangers of joining the army. There is no need for me to say anything more. After entering the army, you can only count on yourself." One after the other, Universe Masters spoke up. "Of course. Milky Way Horde Leader, sorry to have to trouble you so." Remote Ocean Luo Feng nodded. This was his new Remote Ocean body. As this new Remote Ocean body had attained the perfect life gene level, its godly body would naturally be as powerful as his original Earthling body and Golden Horned Beast body. Luo Feng. Standing beside Remote Ocean Luo Feng was none other than Primal Chaos City Leader, who was transmitting his words. This time, a total of 36 Universe Masters are entering, and all of them come from the other races in my Hong Alliance. They are, after all, not humans. You just need to guide them along in the beginning. Thereafter, you can wash your hands of them. Protecting yourself is of the utmost importance. I understand. Luo Feng nodded with a smile. Oh, the colors are changing. Remote Ocean Luo Feng looked out at the miniature universe of the world of Jinn in the void space far away. The external membrane walls of the world of Jinn were turning white, which was apparently the time when hindrances were at the lowest. This was when they could enter. We can go in now. The color is changing. We can enter the 4th most dangerous land. Into the world of Jinn. One after the other, the numerous palace true treasures that were originally suspended in the void space outside world of Jinn penetrated the membrane walls of the miniature universe and landed within the world of Jinn. At the same time, there were also numerous streaks of light emerging from the miniature universe of the world of Jinn. These were obvious signs showing that the first batch to enter the miniature universe way back then were still surviving. A silver battleship flew over rapidly. It was the boat of Mausoleum. "Let's go over," Remote Ocean Luo Feng said. Very quickly, the boat of Mausoleum and Star Tower closed the distance between one another. At the same time, the cabin doors of the boat of Mausoleum opened. "All of you, step over," Remote Ocean Luo Feng ordered. Without further ado, the numerous Universe Masters from the Hong Alliance left Star Tower and entered the boat of Mausoleum. Only Remote Ocean Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader remained behind in Star Tower. Primal Chaos City Leader discovered right away that Remote Ocean Luo Feng's godly body was rapidly weakening. In merely a short period, his godly body was weakened to such a degree that it was only left with around 80%. "What is happening?" he asked. "While I was in the world of Jinn, quite a substantial amount of my godly body was consumed. I need to take the chance to replenish it," Remote Ocean Luo Feng said with a laugh. Previously, when he was after that beast true god, he had executed the 2nd stage of extermination, and under such circumstances, the amount that would be consumed was alarming. Although he managed to kill that beast true god, a large portion of Luo Feng's godly body had been consumed. Fortunately, there was Golden Horned Beast body to supplement whatever amount was used up. That was how he could maintain an optimal state. In the world of Jinn, replenishing godly power was extremely tough. One era had passed, but he merely replenished a small part that had been consumed. And at the moment, within the boat of Mausoleum, his original earthling body and golden-horned beast body were close. Naturally, their godly powers could be transmitted to one another, thus helping him in replenishing his godly power. Within a dazzling golden battleship, Rampaging Devil God was bragging to his old pal, Beikai Star Master. Haha. Now I am learning the secret technique of blazing godly power, and I also have a series of attack-type supreme true treasure. Even if I am in Universe Ocean, I am able to release an outburst of combat power at 10th tier as the top level. This is definitely comparable to Teacher Origin when he was at my current level. Now, I can trample on you in any way I like. Take a look at this. This is my newly acquired Supreme True Treasure battleship. You are so ruthless, but you are also very impressive. Beikai Star Master forced himself to listen to Rampaging Devil God sing his own praises. Ha ha ha, Rampaging Devil God was very satisfied with himself. He was a lone traveler. He had earned himself a powerful treasure. How could he give up the chance to show off? A battleship was flying at high speed, and it was so fast that it crashed into another spherical palace true treasure with an impact that sent the palace true treasure flying into the distance. Who dares crash into my divine I clan's palace? The great being who was within the spherical palace true treasure was furious and transmitted his roars of displeasure. It's me, Rampaging. What can you do about it? Rampaging Devil God behaved in accordance with his name, going on a rampage without any fear. Instantly, the divine I clan ceased all activities at hand. Earlier on, Rampaging Devil God had planned to collect more supreme true treasures from Universe Ocean. However, as more and more information about the army was being revealed and transmitted to various groups of powers within Universe Ocean, his plan had been declared a failure. Thereafter, Rampaging Devil God actively showed off his possessions to let the whole of Universe Ocean know that now, he, Rampaging Devil God, was very powerful. Even for the Divine Eye clan, the moment they encountered this lone traveler, Rampaging Devil God, they could only hold back their anger and take a detour around him. Go! Luo Feng stood in the halls of the boat of Mausoleum. Behind him, there were 36 Universe Masters from the Hong Alliance, all at Luo Feng's beck and call. With a one-word command, the boat of Mausoleum flew toward the world of Jin right away. Within a battleship gloriously coated in black, a large number of Universe Masters were gathering. The total was close to 100. Ancestor has given orders. This time, my Purple Moon Holy Land has entered the world of Jin. Our first goal is to solicit the help of their army and kill Milky Way Horde leader, Luo Feng. So long as the army strikes with a sole attack to annihilate Luo Feng, his other bodies will all perish without a trace of hope for resurrection. As for us, need to first look into his whereabouts. A double-face, four-armed man in black armor let out a low growl. The group of Universe Masters beneath were all listening in solemn silence. The Universe Masters from the Hong Alliance have already set off. Let's catch up with them. The black battleship followed closely when the boat of Mausoleum was flying toward the world of Jin. It, too, flew toward the world of Jin. Earlier on, during the First Era, the number of incomers had not been many to start with, but the majority of them would fail to survive. Those who could live through one era within the world of Jin were few. This was why many groups could only gather information about the world of Jin from other sources. They did not have any of their great beings in the world of Jin, so they were still heavy-hearted with fear, worried that the information they gathered was inaccurate. This was the reason why, in this second era, from various groups of powers from the entire Universe Ocean, a total of more than 1,000 Universe Masters had set off for the world of Jin. Comparatively speaking, this was not a big number. Especially for the first reincarnation era, its number of Universe Masters was already more than 2,000. They were facing their impending doomsday, so if they were to learn of detailed information about the world of Jin, then most likely, from the first reincarnation era alone, more than half the number of Universe Masters would have charged their way in. Yet, at the moment, there were only about 600 Universe Masters from the first reincarnation era making their way into the world of Jin. It was expected that, come the third era, the influx would hit a new high. We've lost it. The moment Purple Moon Holy Land's black battleship entered the world of Jin, It realized that the boat of Mausoleum had teleported itself away very quickly. Although we have lost sight of it, the landing site of the group of Universe Masters from the Hong Alliance, led by Luo Feng, was obviously within the region under the jurisdiction of the East Army of the World of Jin. Luo Feng likely joined the East Army. But just as a precautionary measure, we have close to 100 Universe Masters, so 20 of us shall head to the North Army, 20 shall head to the South Army, 20 shall head to the West Army, and the rest shall go to the East Army. The black battleship of Purple Moon Holy Land had started to take off. Purple Moon Holy Land Universe already had 2 Universe Masters entering previously. A period of 1 era was enough time for these 2 Universe Masters to obtain a general map of the world of Jin, which allowed the world of Jin to be certain of the positions of the 4 major military camps. The large-scale entry made by the various groups of top powers from Universe Ocean was, on the contrary, almost unnoticeable. It was as though a basin of water was poured into a vast ocean, so insignificant that it could not create even the slightest ripple. At the East Army military camp, within Python River military ground, an external voice was transmitted, "Milky Way, Milky Way." Luo Feng walked out of his stone house and looked up into the sky where the hideous beast, Wu He, was suspended. "Milky Way, the other warriors are prepared to set off to accomplish their military mission for this era," Wu He said right away. "And, from the previous era, there are 9 new recruits who just joined the army. They will be executing their military missions with us too. Let us set off too." Wu He was now very willing to join Luo Feng's group in action. 9 new army recruits. Luo Feng was taken aback. Warriors who had joined during the current era, upon receiving their missions, naturally should wait for the new era to come before embarking on their first mission. But the entire Python River army was so big for his small troop to take in 9 warriors. That was a tad too many. Every era, Python River army is distributed with a handful of warriors, Wu He explained. Our team had just completed a disaster-level mission and incurred quite a loss, so this deployment was mainly to replenish our team. "Oh. Let's go, then." Luo Feng nodded. "But Wu He, I need to tell you in advance, this time around, I will not be taking part in the mission with you all." "Not joining us?" Wu He felt doubtful. However, he was not worried. Following the completion of a disaster-level mission, the troop would not be assigned with tough missions for a long period thereafter. "I have something else to do," said Luo Feng, and he did not elaborate further. When it came to his mission to receive a title, he simply did not want to say much. First, he would head to Basic Inheritance Island, the gathering point. Obviously, the captain and some of the older warriors would treat him with hostility, but a portion would be friendlier. As a side note, he knew the 9 new recruits would be especially curious about him. When Luo Feng arrived at Basic Inheritance Island, he paid no heed to the captain or his company whatsoever. He approached the 9 new recruits right away and said, "New recruits, here is a reminder for you all. QFA is quite good. You all can choose to follow her. As for that captain, unless you have a death wish, you had better not choose him." The new warriors were greatly taken aback. "Milky Way." The captain's expression reflected his displeasure. Luo Feng shot him a look. "Am I wrong to say that?" All 6 troops could feel the enmity between Luo Feng and the captain. In fact, even before the captain had been coveting Luo Feng's many military credits, the two had been at odds with one another. The captain had witnessed firsthand how Luo Feng had become more powerful and also how Luo Feng had obtained such a great amount of military credits when he was on his previous mission. He had easily been able to trade for an automaton-type treasure. Compared to the past century, Luo Feng's power was indeed much stronger than before. This was why, deep in his heart, the captain was still somewhat fearful of Luo Feng. Captain turned his head and gave his orders without further ado. "Let's go receive our military mission." After spending almost a day's time shuttling about the military camp, Luo Feng finally arrived at the Great Evil Hall. A beam of light enveloped the warriors of all 6 troops in an instant. The other warriors received simple missions. Luo Feng, on the other hand, received a mission to receive a title. Godly King Valley? The place where His Majesty the Godly King lived in the past. A trace of surprise flashed in Luo Feng's eyes as he realized, the mission to receive a title will be found there. Venue for mission to receive a title, Law Master level Godly King Valley. Details for mission, Godly King Valley, place of residence of His Majesty the Godly King, who was the existence who created Wu Qi God. There is a tower, Wu Qi Tower, that is 9 stories high. The 9th story is the highest level. Up until today, only His Majesty the Godly King had ascended to the 9th story before. The goal of this mission is: enter Wu Qi Tower and get to the 9th story. The one who makes it up to the 9th floor will be sealed with a title. Reward: 10,000 military credits earned if one survives and returns back. By returning alive with success achieved, one will be sealed with a title. There are endless benefits. Penalty: there will be no penalty should one fails to accomplish the mission. Important reminder: this mission is extremely dangerous. All the participants are top-notch law masters representing the 4 armies of the world of Jinn, who have undergone much training and honing of skills. They are all amply prepared, but the number who are annihilated still reaches a high average of 90%. You must always be careful and vigilant. The mission to receive a title might have seemed easy, as there would be no penalty if one failed. Yet the insanely high mortality rate was, in fact, the most terrifying penalty. Every single law master who accepted the mission to receive a title would know about this extremely high mortality rate, so all of them would have prepared palace-type true treasures, or even automaton-type true treasures to bring along as they tried to achieve success. But the number of deaths was still exceedingly high. There is no room for carelessness, Luo Feng reminded himself discreetly. The moment I lose my life, Golden Claw God, Boat of Mausoleum, Blood Ghost Blade, and Python River armor will all be taken away by the other warriors. And then I will become a laughing stock. The captain's voice was transmitted from the side. This mission is very simple. You new recruits, so long as you do not behave recklessly, will be able to pull through this mission easily. Previously, it was a disaster-level mission. Under my leadership, we have survived. You 9 new recruits. You are still not willing to hurry over to our team. We are willing to accept you all. Why are you all still hesitating to join us? The captain and the warriors under his command were all beckoning loudly to the 9 new recruits. Humph, follow you? Ku Fa said coldly. Even if you all pull through this time, the next time around, you may all perish. Have you not tasted enough loss? Previously, I joined forces with you Luo, leaving your captain with no choice but to continue helping you. Do you really think you have a chance of survival? The 9 new recruits immediately started to have second thoughts. I am willing to go with Ku Fa and her troop, Wu He started shouting from the side. Luo Feng, who had been contemplating his mission to receive a title, turned around. There was a very disharmonious situation unfolding beside him, with the captain on one side and Ku Fa on the other. With Wu He also joining Ku Fa and company, it was down to the 9 new recruits who were filled with uncertainty. The new recruits even looked toward Luo Feng, as they all felt that the captain, Ku Fa, and everyone else were fearful of Luo Feng. If you choose to follow Ku Fa and her troop, at the very least, she would not have the power to give up on any of you even if she intended to, Luo Feng said lightly. The moment this was said, a handful of new recruits who had been hesitating a moment ago walked toward Ku Fa's side. After the first one had made a final decision to join Ku Fa and her troop, the other new recruits also followed suit and made their way toward Ku Fa and her company. They all felt that what Milky Way said made sense. In terms of power, Ku Fa was not the captain's match, so even if Ku Fa wanted to take advantage of such a big group of warriors, she did not have the capacity to do so. Suddenly, those warriors under captain's command were bellowing as one. Milky Way, are you trying to make an enemy out of Captain? Milky Way. Captain kept mum, but that pair of grey eyes under his curved horns glared hard at Luo Feng. Making an enemy out of your captain? Luo Feng shot a look at the captain and gave a light snort. Is he even worth it? The warriors immediately glared at him while the captain's expression instantly changed to one of great displeasure. Milky Way, I have no time for this nonsense. Ku Fa, Wu He. Time to go. Luo Feng smiled as he greeted Ku Fa and Wu He. Then, right away, he flew toward the contorted space wormhole not far away. Ku Fa and her warriors still felt some resentment toward Luo Feng for refusing their offer, But they were also aware that even the captain and his warriors were helpless against that Luo Feng. All the more, Ku Fa and her warriors were unable to do anything. She and her warriors did not hold any feud against one another, so their enemy's enemy should be their friend. Let's go. Let's go. In a mighty manner, Ku Fa, Wu He, and their group of warriors also flew straight into the wormhole. The expressions of the captain and his warriors were awful. One by one, the experienced warriors all looked at their captain. Captain, how can we just let Milky Way go like that? Captain, if we just let him be, Milky Way will still find ways to be at odds with you. We don't even have 10 warriors on our side now. On the other hand, Ku Fa and company have the greatest number of warriors. If Milky Way decides to stir up trouble, Captain, you might lose your prominence. We cannot let him go unrestrained any further. Captain. The captain replied with great indifference, we shall not be bothered with him for the time being. Su. With the captain in the head, the troop flew into the wormhole. The other experienced warriors looked at one another. Why would their captain, who was always so proud and ruthless, show leniency to Milky Way? Could it be that he was also fearful of Milky Way? These old warriors were starting to entertain all kinds of thoughts in their minds, but at that same time, they, too, flew into the wormhole. Asterisk 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 asterisk. In a certain region outside the East Army military camp, a great number of wormholes were clustered together. Hong, 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 hong. Batches of warriors were emerging from the wormholes in succession, all chatting among themselves. Then, maneuvering their battleships, they speedily left. Not too far from this region, on a large, ancient tree, was a warrior clad in grey armor. He was keeping watch. There are so many who are going out to accomplish their mission, the warrior in grey armor said, transmitting a voice message. What do you say? Just keep watching like this. How long are we going to continue keeping watch? At another spot not too far away, a warrior leaned against a large tree, looking very comfortable, but in fact, he was keeping a close watch over a large area of a certain region. Now, the previous era has just ended, he replied. A new era has just begun, and all the lesser troops are setting off to carry out their military mission. Now is the most turbulent time. If Luo Feng wants to set off, I think he should set off now. Ancestor has given specific orders for the 10 of us to keep watch over the surroundings here. After we get through this 100-year period, we can set off to accomplish our own missions designated to us. At that moment, there were 10 Universe Masters in total from Purple Moon Holy Land, and all of them were gathered in the same area, keeping a close watch. This was the peak period when warriors would head out. The chances of Luo Feng appearing were currently the highest. How could they afford to be careless? Even if it meant they had to put off accomplishing their own missions, they had to continue to keep a close watch. Look, it's the Blood Ochre Army. Watch it closely. That is a special army troop. It is highly possible that Luo Feng will appear within a special army troop. Amongst the great number of warriors appearing, occasionally, warriors from special army troops would also appear. With the passing of time, a small group of warriors from special army troops sometimes could be seen. Hong. Suddenly, a group of figures flew out from the exit of one of the wormholes. It's the Python River Army, which is also a special army troop. Keep a close watch. The 10 Universe Masters from Purple Moon Holy Land Universe were keeping watch, and now, 6 of them were looking in this one direction. All they could see was a group of figures flying out in succession. All of them wore their Python River Army standard armor, and judging by their armor alone, their identities were easily verified. Because there were Universe Masters from Purple Moon Holy Land who had already entered the world of Jinn as part of the first batch of newcomers, they had already obtained some information about certain special army troops within the East Army. Milky Way, we shall part ways here then. Milky Way, if you are not going on the mission with us, where are you going? Wu He and Ku Fa asked their questions one after the other. Luo Feng smiled as he replied, I have important matters to see to. As this was just a casual conversation, whether it was Luo Feng, Wu He or Ku Fa, all of them were speaking normally, without any of those sneaky voice transmissions. The 6 Universe Masters were all keeping a close watch, yet even when they laid eyes on Luo Feng, they did not realize he was their target. Since joining the army, Luo Feng's appearance had changed slightly. His complexion had changed a little, it seemed rougher. Furthermore, he was covered by his Python River armor, with a helmet over his head. That was why they did not recognize him at first glance. Although they might be far away and could not hear the content of their conversation well, the 6 Universe Masters only needed to read the movements of their lips to discern the content of their conversation. Milky Way. This name caught their attention right away. That target has an appearance resembling a human. Very possible that it is Milky Way Horde leader, Luo Feng. Lock eyes on target. I will go verify right away. Of the 10 Universe Masters who were standing guard from afar, one separated from the team right away. Soon, a seemingly ordinary warrior clad in a silver armor suit transformed into a stream of flowing light and flew toward the region around the wormhole where a great many warriors had gathered. There were simply too many warriors around Luo Feng. And why would he need to pay close attention to such an ordinary warrior? That warrior flew past Luo Feng. Luo Feng's brows twitched as he turned around. That aura. It was an aura he recognized. There were only so many great beings from Universe Ocean in the world of Jin. Back then, just to stop that massive object, several thousand Universe Masters had gathered together. Naturally, Luo Feng was acquainted with many other Universe Masters. And that aura a moment ago belonged to one of those Universe Masters that he had gotten to know back then. This aura that I am detecting must have come from Purple Moon Holy Land. Could it be so coincidental? To actually meet one of them here? Luo Feng had his doubts. Seems like he has discovered me, too. Even if he has discovered me, what can he do? Here, Purple Moon Holy Land has no authority at all. Luo Feng had never really held Purple Moon Holy Land in high regard. Plus, the rules of the world of Jin were determined by the army. Here, Purple Moon Holy Land was nothing at all. I'm leaving. Luo Feng maneuvered a battleship and charged across the vast expanse of space, where he left at high speed. The warrior clad in silver armor who had flown by Luo Feng's side just now, confirmed within a split second, that is Luo Feng's aura. It is his aura. Just now, that warrior from the Python River army is Luo Feng. I am sure of it. It is Luo Feng. Information confirmed. Let's head back right away to report this to Ancestor. The Universe Masters from Purple Moon Holy Land were extremely excited as they immediately brought the news back to Purple Moon Ancestor. Universe Ocean, in Purple Moon Holy Land Universe. Within the main hall, a purple figure stood at an elevated position. Beneath him, 10 Universe Masters were down on their knees. Are you sure that it is Luo Feng? Asked the purple figure, looking down. One of the Universe Masters, who was kneeling at the bottom, replied reverentially, yes, it is Luo Feng. His name in the world of Jin is Milky Way, and I personally flew past him and sensed his life aura. It is the godly body of Luo Feng's earthling original body. Very well. Purple Moon Ancestor nodded slightly. Since we have confirmed that he is a warrior of the Python River army, someone must look into this for me right away. Exactly which large troop or small troop from the Python River army is he in? We must be very clear about this. Understood. Every single warrior standing below him responded. This was very easy, as there were only so many warriors from Python River army. So long as the name was known, adding on the appearance. Surely, it would be easy to clarify and investigate. After investigating the matter, there is no rush for action, said Purple Moon Ancestor ordered. The moment you have clear answers, just wait patiently. Wait for Luo Feng to return to the military camp. The moment he does, you can start the killing. If you rush the attack and the Hong Alliance learns about it first and informs Luo Feng, he may escape before we can do anything. That is not good. Wait until he returns to the military camp. Wait for him to fall into our deadly trap. Then there will be no way he can ever think of escaping. Understood, the 10 warriors respectfully replied in unison. This video will end here.